Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone arena action. I'm really torn between Warlock and Druid. On the one hand, I've played more Warlock arenas than Druid arenas. On the other hand, I actually have fewer Warlock videos. So I guess we'll do Warlock here. And see if your soul shall indeed be mine. Well, we get two Warlock rares. Warlocks have some pretty garbage rares. And here we're seeing two of them. So we'll take a Sunwalker here. This is a tricky one. So the Wolf Rider, the removal is nice. Loot Hoarder, of course, you get the card draw, but Warlocks have card draw, so I don't know. We'll take a Wolf Rider here for some removal-ish. I have another chance for a Loot Hoarder. Well, we'll do the same logic here and grab a Bluegill Warrior there. God, Sen'jin, I love this card so much. Yes, Voidwalker's a good one-drop, but Sen'jin is pretty fantastic. So here, we have to ask ourselves, how committed are we to playing aggro? The best card is Mortal Coil, but Flame Imp is good if you want to go a little bit more for an aggro route. With what I have so far, it's not really looking all that aggro, so I'm just going to take the best card, which is Mortal Coil. Often do I hope for one of those. We'll take a Panther. And this is tricky, so I don't like the Molten Giant very much. Warlocks, perhaps Molten Giant a little bit better than against further classes, because Warlock, obviously, you lose life with your hero ability, so you have some more control over this. In fact, you can life tap and play a Molten Giant on the same turn without losing anything for the life tap, essentially. But the Pit Lord, I mean, a 5/6 is pretty sweet. 5 damage kind of hurts. We'll try it. We'll try it. It's a really, really tough 4-drop to deal with. Okay, as much as I would like to have a Fen Creeper as a Warlock for protection, I'm going to take Farseer. I'm learning, or at least feeling more and more like life gain for Warlock, even a little bit makes a huge difference. So yes, this is a good 1-drop. It'd be nice to have, and yes, this is a nice taunter, but I just, that 3/3 body for 3 mana plus the heal is amazing. Shadow Flame is a Warlock's only mass removal apart from Hellfire, and it can really get you out of a jam. There are quite a few situations where it's like, well, as long as he has any card in the universe other than Shadow Flame, I'm good. But I'm going to take Argent Commander. It's more consistent after talking it up so much. Okay, so I need 2 drops here, folks, besides the Bluegill Warrior. Kodo is fine, but the Knife Juggler is a very good 2-drop, and it's a 2-drop. The only playable card here is Geomancer, so let's just take it without thinking. It's nice to have 1 Silence. Especially because I'm running light on removal right now. I haven't seen any Soulfires or Shadow Bolts or Siphon Souls. Or even any Drain Lives for that matter. So we'll take a Spellbreaker. I might actually need it. Do I take this? We've got a couple of 6-drops already. Storm and Champion could certainly be good. Although I don't really have any removal. I'm going to take another Bluegill Warrior. This might seem crazy because Harvest Golem is such a good drop and this is good endgame. But I have no removal right now and we're almost halfway to the draft. So I need to take those types of cards. Alright, so do I take the Stealthy 2/1 or the Self-Damaging 3/2? You know, I'm going to make a little bit of a weird choice. I'm actually going to take the Infiltrator. I don't actually want to take 3 damage to the face from this Flame Imp, and I just don't think that extra power is worth it. Like, if my opponent plays some random 3/2, this thing is just as good as this thing. Except this thing is stealthy, and I can keep it hidden, and all this stuff, so I'm actually going to take it there. Gotta fit your deck's needs. Do I take a 3rd Bluegill Warrior? Probably not. But Blood Imp, honestly, kind of sucks. I'm just going to take another Worgen Infiltrator there for some early game. And we have more Blood Imp Bluegill Warrior show here. Guess we'll take a 3rd Bluegill Warrior. And since I have no removal at all in this deck, I need to take this other Mortal Coil. I need some mid-game, and this is pretty much perfect, fitting the bill there, the Tiger. Alright, Soulfire is a must. I have to take it. I have no removal. And I think the Defender should be fine here for some taunts. I don't really have much of that. This is a nice 2-drop. This isn't really the right deck for Power Overwhelming, so we'll just take a 6-drop here. Okay, now that I have plenty of 2-drops and enough 1-drops, now we'll take the Golem. Very, very good 3-drop. We already have a Silence. This card's terrible, so the Dark Iron Dwarf is what it's going to have to be. Another Golem? Sure. Uh-oh, this sucks. Well, I don't want the Core Hound. I've got enough endgame with these 4 cards that I don't feel like I need a terrible endgame card, so we'll take the Stormpike Commando, although it also is terrible. This is one of the worst cards in the history of mankind. I have to consider Corruption here just because I have so little removal. I have a Soulfire and 2 Mortal Coils, and then the Bluegill Warrior army, but those aren't great. So this will take out anything. I think I have to do it, much as I hate it. I hate that card. It's terrible. I'm saying it, but it's just terrible, and I need it because I need removal. Demon Fire is not very good removal. And I don't really have any demons to buff other than the Pit Lord, I don't think, and the Dread Infernal, I suppose. I could just take a really solid 3-drop. No, I'm just so low in removal. We gotta have that. Ah, Boulder for Stoker. Thank you. Do we take another Argent Commander here? This is starting to be a lot of 6-drops. 5 6-drops? God. I needed more 5-drops, but these are not very good 2-drops. Well, Master Swordsmith and my last arena run was horrifically bad, so we'll take Mana Addict. I mean, God, this is... You know what? Honestly, the Mana Addict is so weak, I'd rather just not play this because it's sitting in my hand than play something as lame as Mana Addict. Now, I have played recently with both Mana Addict and Master Swordsmith. The Mana Addict was actually an MVP in the run where I played it. It was really great. Master Swordsmith, though, was just terrible the entire time. So, those 2 cards, I'd say the Mana Addict is better. It's more threatening. But, I don't know. The Argent Commander is just so good, it feels dumb to take Mana Addict over it. I mean, it's not like I'm suffering for 2-drops. I've got plenty of 2-drops. So I could have maybe taken that as a curve pick if I was really lacking for 2-drops, but that's not the case. So, alright. We'll keep this hand. I'm not actually planning to use these Bluegill Warriors, especially against a Druid who can automatically kill them. It's a bit sad. Honestly, against, a non-Druid, non-Rogue, non-Mage, I would have coined out one of them and went to town, but I'm only going to do that now if it'll actually kill something, and it won't. Alright, so we'll keep the coin around. I might end up using that on turn 5 for the Ogre. Hard for Druids to deal with. Not impossible, but hard. Hopefully I can kill whatever he plays with a Bluegill Warrior, and indeed I can. Now I could get cheeky, and I could actually coin into Harvest Golem, try to kill the Geomancer that way. It's risky. I mean, it runs into, like, Shattered Some Cleric. And then it also causes me to lose my coin, of course. The question is, how much am I willing to hold out hope for this coin Ogre on turn 5?
So many possibilities.
My hand is pretty weak. I got too many 2-drops here. Okay, I think I will actually hold out hope for that. We'll kill the Geomancer that way. Now, there are a lot of 3-drops the Wolf Rider feels very silly against. Razorfin Hunter, Scarlet Crusader, even like a Demolisher. Wouldn't really be phased by Wolf Rider, but luckily my opponent doesn't have a 3-drop. He's actually got a pretty slow move here. So this is actually pretty nice. I've got a decent turn here. I Golem up. This Pit Lord could be good next turn. I haven't life tapped at all, so my life is fine. I'll lose 5 health, but a 5/6 is difficult to deal with for anybody, especially for a Druid. Very difficult. I mean, even Starfall and Starfire don't kill this thing. Does he have a good 4-drop? He didn't really have a good 3-drop. He needs like a Senjin or a Yeti right here to hang with it. Because either of those would take a pretty big bite out of the Pit Lord and kill my Golem off. And then he could be okay. No, he's actually going to spend his entire turn killing my Harvest Golem. Well, I'm okay with the fact that what I did on turn 3, he spent the entirety of turn 4 dealing with. Because I didn't lose any cards. And I traded my 3rd turn for his 4th turn. Notice that I'm the 2nd player, so me trading my 3rd turn for his 4th turn is kind of like I'm first. It's pretty sweet. Well, I don't need the taunt, so I might as well just get this Pit Lord out of the way. I am technically losing health-wise here, but this is looking alright. I can now coin into a Boulder Fist Ogre and have a pretty impressive board. I mean, this will kill just about anything. It won't kill a Fen Creeper, but other than that, this will kill anything that he can play. Certainly it's going to kill a Bluegill Warrior. Does he have like a Mark of Nature to 2-for-1 himself against it? It wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, 2-for-1ing yourself is never great, but it would be pretty good to do here just so that he can kill it. Savage Roar is another way of killing it. It's not quite as good because it requires him to take 5 damage. So this thing ate 2 cards, and the damage it dealt to me was equal to the damage it dealt to my opponent, so I'd say that was a victory. Now he's got 4 cards to my 6 cards, plus I also, well, I'm about to spend the coin, but he's got a lot of card disadvantage here. 5 cards to 6 after he drew for his turn, and he's facing an Ogre here. So that's looking pretty good for me, I gotta say. I got this nice combo here. Bluegill Warrior plus Dark Iron Dwarf would let me deal up to 4 damage on turn 6. On turn 7, I can do the same, but with Wolf Rider for up to 5 damage. And if he's not putting up any pressure that my Ogre can't deal with, I'll just play Senjin. Wow, Oasis Snapjaw. That's not something I expected to see. And he's gonna heal up with the Voodoo Doctor. Well, I got 2 Mortal Coils that will kill this Voodoo Doctor. Luckily for my opponent, I wasn't able to draw those. You know what? Man, Mortal Coil would have been great. It would have dealt with this thing too. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go ahead and just kill this big dumb beast. And I'm gonna play Bluegill Warrior and use that to kill the Voodoo Doctor. My thinking there is the less that he has on the field, the less likely he is to be able to kill off my minions. It's very, very difficult for him to clear my board. He can kill one pretty easily, but not two. And now he's 2 cards behind after drawing for the turn because I just killed his big dumb beast with my Ogre. I have to be a little bit careful, though, about playing too much for control because at some point I will need to start hitting him in the face. Since I don't have that much endgame, it's possible he could actually just blow me up later on by catching up with an Ironbark Protector or something. I pretty much have no answer to an Ironbark Protector in my entire deck. I was never offered any Siphon Souls or Big Game Hunters. Alright, well, this is fine. So now what I do is I kill that thing. I'm gonna play this Farseer, actually. Heal up my Ogre a lot. This is one of the most maddening things to witness. You think, okay, finally I'm gonna kill that Ogre, and then it gets healed. I'm at a high enough life total, and he's at a poor enough card situation that I'm okay with keeping my life at 21, and preserving my Ogre's nice. So I put it out of the range of Starfall, Starfire, Swipe, and Wrath. He's going to swipe it anyway. Does he have another swipe, perhaps? Or some other removal to get rid of this? That would have been a very odd swipe if he didn't. So he's just 2-for-1ing himself against this Ogre. So this Ogre, it ate a big dumb beast, and then it ate 2 more removal spells. So that's a pretty good Ogre. And now he's in trouble. He's got 2 cards. I mean, look at how behind he is. So, do you play the Defender of Argus here? It would allow the Wolf Rider to survive against... Well, the Wolf Rider survives anyway, thanks to this. Let's hold on to this Defender of Argus. I don't see much of a reason to blow it right now. Although it would help survive against Starfall. Ah, jeez. I don't know. That's a tough call. Let's life tap. And play Wolf Rider. So with another swipe, he could kill off most of my board. With a Starfall, he could also clear off most of my board. That was, I guess, a point in favor of Defender of Argusing my guys to make everything a little bit beefier. Luckily, he doesn't really have... Well, he doesn't have swipe, and he could have played Starfall, but he played MVP Nightblade here. Nice. Alright, let's take a look and see if I can win. 3 plus 4 is 7, takes down that thing. 3 plus 3 is 6, take him down to 6. Down to 4. Yep, I actually do win. So, let's do that. Actually, I should use Demon Fire, shouldn't I? Oh, wait, there's no way to use Demon Fire effectively on this guy, though. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, okay, so we'll do this. This. Oh, wait, I can't put Defender of Argus in between 2 things if I... Ah, I should have used the Panther and the Senjin. Then I could have killed him this turn. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, God, that was one of the more embarrassing failures I have committed in a long time. Now a swipe actually clears my board. Oh, God, I'm just doing this all wrong. Oh, gosh. Okay. So we're going to do this to protect my stuff against swipe. We're going to play this as well. I could have won this turn. I just needed to attack him with the Warden with 2 adjacent creatures, the Panther and the Senjin. Then I could have put Defender of Argus between the other 2 and had them both attack. I just left 2 creatures on the edge to attack with, so the Defender of Argus couldn't buff them both. Anyway, luckily my opponent has a really bad deck with bad cards like Frostwolf Warlord and Nightblade, so he's going to lose now, but that was a bit silly of me to make all those mistakes. And a Starfall could have actually kept him in the game, potentially. Anyway, that was a bit clumsy by me, but we win, so hooray. That was a pretty weak deck. I don't know if that was a weak player. He might have just had a bad draft. But it was a pretty weak deck. I have actually 2 60 gold quests for Warlock. That's kind of epic. Logged on today, and there they both were. So, I'd at least like to get a few more wins. Your eyes do not deceive you, by the way. That was my second Warlock win. I played a little bit in the ranked queue with Warlock today, try to get that quest. But my Warlock deck is out of date. I'm still using Curie's board control Warlock, and it is out of date. It was a great deck in its time, but it just goes to show how much the metagame changes and constructed. It is no good anymore. The Blood Imps are just absolutely terrible, and I'm pretty sure that the Zoo thing that Reynad did is a lot better, as are the Murloc decks. Now I can actually keep this whole hand and either play Ascension on turn 4 after going Dragon Golem, or Dark Iron Dwarf if I need to trade up and kill something. In fact, I will do that. I could have mulliganed to try to get some 1-drops or 2-drops, but honestly, I'm okay with just playing the Fairy Dragon on turn 2. All it dies to is Claw, or if he played a minion. Otherwise, it'll survive. And then even if he kills it, he's probably gonna have to spend his turn killing it, and then I can play the Golem, which is very resilient. And then again, either the Ascension or the Dark Iron Dwarf. So he kept one card. He kept his middle card. Let's see if that's like a 1-drop or something. We'll keep an eye on this card. Practicing my observation skills here, like Sherlock Holmes. Except I play Hearthstone. Yeah, there's the card that he kept. He's fingering it. No, he's just gonna finger it. Okay. Well, we got our curve completed. We got 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, my opponent could mess around a little bit. Shoot, I didn't see where this came from in his hand. I wasn't looking. Wow, crap. That's funny. So anyway, we'll see if I get to kill this Berserker. Shattered Sun Cleric would be a really tremendously good card for him. It would let this guy kill my Fairy Dragon and survive. Luckily, he doesn't have that. He just plays a Flesh-Eating Ghoul, which is fine. Now, unfortunately, this thing is strong enough that I'm not that excited about playing a Golem in front of it. What I would much rather do is either play Spellbreaker or Ascension. Now, the Ascension would kill this, but then Shapeshift would let him finish off my Ascension, which is a bit sad. Or I could silence this. I consider the silence the less useful card overall, so I will do this. Still threatening to kill this thing, and he could still kill it with Shapeshift, but I'm losing my less valuable card this way. Now, the disadvantage is that something like a Wrath would kill this, whereas it wouldn't kill Ascension, but I'm willing to take that risk, because I really would like to lose my less valuable creature to the Ghoul. All in all, I'd say the Ghoul was a really good drop for him there, because it prevented me from playing my Golem like I wanted. He has another 2-drop. Man, this guy has tons of 2-drops and 3-drops. Well, 1 3-drop and 2 2-drops. It's really unfortunate. The fact that he got to play this and kill my creature, Shapeshift to kill it, was very, very good for him. Don't underestimate those little tempo swings. Well, now we got a Mortal Coil. That's good to have on hand. It's one of the most commonly, I hope he doesn't have it cards I think of whenever I play against Warlocks. If he has another 2-drop, I could kill it with a Stormpike Commando, and in fact, it looks like I will get to do that. Now, I could play the Dark Iron Dwarf and use this to kill the Silverhand Knight, but I don't see much point. Yeah, let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. We'll shoot that thing, kill that thing. Now, the Silverhand Knight, of course, can kill my Ascension, but then it'll be left with 1 health, ready to die to a Mortal Coil. I can then drop a Tiger or a Dark Iron Dwarf as appropriate. Looks like that is what he will do, unless he heals it or pandas it. Oh, he heals it. Wow, that's really unfortunate. Balls. That is insanely good. Okay, well, slight change of plans then. We're going to go ahead and kill this thing. And Mortal Coil there. And I can either Wolf Rider to kill this thing off, or I can just play the Stranglethorn Tiger. Let's play the Tiger. I think it's really important to put that down, because we're getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to answer big Druid things. So if he does play something big, I want this here so that I can Dark Iron Dwarf to reach up for 7 damage and maybe Mortal Coil for an 8th if needed. The fact that this thing can kill the Silverhand Knight's not that exciting, of course, because then it'll be just at 1 health and die to Shapeshift or a Stray Swipe. This is really irritating. Although, actually, you know what? This is good. I'm going to do this. There were other ways of killing this, but I like this a lot. Mortal Coil number 2. Alright, and now, well, now you hold your breath, because a swipe would clear my board. He's got card advantage from that Ancient of Lore. I'm hanging on, actually. Actually, no, he doesn't. It's 7-7 because I've done such a good job trading my minions. He's got Force of Nature, which will kill off both of my minions, sadly. Hopefully, though, his remaining 2 mana is just a Shapeshift. Okay, good. So he spent his entire turn killing my stuff. Not that concerned about it. Seems not to have any swipes, because if he had a swipe, he should have used one of those. Unless he's saving it. Ah, this is wonderful. So now I can actually kill an Ironbark Protector if need be. Note that I'm not life tapping, because cards are not my issue. My issue is board presence, and this little guy makes a really big difference. Well, okay, he might make a really big difference. At the moment, he's not making any difference. Demon Fire, I could deal 5, 7 damage. Okay. Yeah, I hate doing this, but I kind of have to Dark Iron Dwarf and reach up and kill the Ironbark. The Defender lets this get up to 7. This can be a 7-8, but it still dies to the Ironbark and doesn't even kill it, so... yeah, it's sad. Okay, what I could do is I could actually Dark Iron Dwarf this and hit for 4, Wolf Rider, and Demon Fire. So I could go 3 for 1 down. in order to keep the Ironbark Protector, which is a better minion. But I think that's a bit silly. I think what makes more sense is just to kill it like this. And, do I play the Defender of Argus? No, I guess I should life tap and Harvest Golem. Or Knife Juggler? No, not Knife Juggler. Let's use up all of our mana here. That's fine. So why am I attacking, you ask? Well, if he shapeshifts and kills this, this thing's still dealt a net 3 damage to him, which is alright. Not great, but alright. And it's probably going to die to a stray swipe anyway, so I might as well attack with it. He has 7 cards to my 7. Card-wise, I'm alright, but my card quality is low. I've used an Argent Commander, and I've also used Boulderfist Ogre. He has a Gruul, which I played with in my last arena. It's pretty good. So it's another 8/8 for me to deal with, and of course I do need to deal with it immediately, or else I'm totally screwed. So Kobold Geomancer lets this be 3 damage. Well, let's play some minions. Hopefully some knives hit the Gruul here. Nope. So if I put Defender of Argus here, this would be 5/7 damage. I really needed that knife to hit, and it didn't. So what I'll do is I'll waste the Demon Fire then and hang on to the Defender of Argus, because the Defender of Argus could be really good later on. Gruul misses again. That's annoying. Actually, Knife Juggler misses the Gruul again. So we do need to... Well, actually, do I even need to kill this thing? I could race him. No, that's wrong. I will just do this. If he has a swipe, he has a swipe. Oh, that's right. I forgot I was getting another knife fling off the golem dying. I should have attacked with the golem to get an extra knife fling to see if I could have made a difference. Okay, so swipe and he wins the game is the moral of this story. But you have to play to your outs. The only way I can win is if he doesn't have a swipe. He plays a panda. He can still play a swipe. Oh my gosh, he doesn't have a swipe. Well, that sure is fortunate. That sure is fortunate. Is he going to kill my Harvest Golem? I bet he is. Alright, so we can drop the Defender of Argus, and I think I'm going to start going for his face now. Bluegill Warrior. Okay, well, let's life tap before we do anything else. Dread Infernal, that's interesting. That could help kill one of these guys. Or I could just Defender of Argus and say, whatever, screw you. So do you go for the face here? What is this? 5, 9, 11, 13 damage, 14 damage. Boy, it's risky. I think the right move though is to go for the face, rather than damaging all my own stuff. I can actually, if I buffed the Knife Juggler, I could throw the Knife Juggler into one of these guys. I wish I could buff the Knife Juggler and the Dwarf. That is the one thing I cannot do, however. Awkward. I have not been doing a good job placing my minions. The problem is buffing this makes it a 3/3, I'll just kill it. I could just buff the Dwarf, make him run into that, I guess. Tough call. Alright, what I'm going to do here is just send everything for the face. Okay, oh, this makes it a little bit better. Okay, so I hedged my bets slightly, since the Knife Juggler happened to hit the thing. I was able to kill that with the Kobold Geomancer. Still very vulnerable to druid removal, such as a swipe. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about spell damage. Oh no, I screwed up. Folks, I'm sorry, I lost that game. I needed to have killed the Ogre Magi because it was spell damage. I just completely blanked on the fact that it was a spell damage minion, so now I'm totally screwed because I can't come back and win. He hits me hard enough with these minions that I can't life tap freely, but that cleared out my board in a way that was unacceptable. Alright, well, we're gonna Dread Infernal. And we're gonna Panther up. He's got 7 damage here. He only 8. He needs 4 more damage to kill me. But that was actually my complete loss because if I had killed I should have just killed both of his minions and not worried about it. Then I could have survived against the swipe. That's 2 damage. He needs 2 more damage to win. And that provides the damage he needs. So notice how my opponent Oh no, it doesn't, because now he doesn't have enough mana to shapeshift. Interesting. Alright, well, I could actually win this game, potentially, if I get exactly the correct cards. Corruption is not one of them, however. Bluegill Warrior. Well, if I'd gotten Bluegill Warrior and Soulfire, I would have actually won. As it is, I lose. So that was my bad. I did not play correctly against my opponent's minions. However, if the Knife Juggler had hit the Ogre Magi once, then I could have killed it. I would have killed it with my Boogaloo Warrior, and then I would have been in much better shape. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and or subscribe, and I'll be back soon with the rest of the games. See you in a bit.